Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Akakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth and rule well. And I want to say Shalom to the Akim and Akwat out there pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. Okay? And today's lesson is going to be a short little lesson to the Spirit, alright? Going in on the topic of basically Romans 2 and 28, alright? And these last few years, I'm a newer brother in the truth. I've only been in the truth for about maybe, at max, a year and a half, alright? And from what I've heard, this truth has been blowing up, alright? More and more, alright? From the brothers that have been in this truth for a long time, the truth is skyrocketed. Alright, you start seeing, people that are in the truth, or so-called in the truth, alright, both, alright, on all platforms, alright, YouTube, alright, Instagram, alright, and in other social media platforms, alright, Facebook, stuff like that, okay, and from, like I said, what I've heard from these elders, alright, these elder brothers, alright, it's basically getting to a point, alright, where all these Jake out here have heard at least something about the truth, alright? Now, whether they whether they get the truth or not is a completely different thing, alright? Because not everyone that hears it is gonna get this, okay? But you got these Israelites out here, okay? Speaking of, people like Kodak Black, alright, Kanye West, who's that other dude? Dude from Wildin' Out. What's his name? I'll look it up real quick. Nick Cannon. All right, you got Nick Cannon. All right, and all these other celebrities that are proclaiming, that they're an Israelite. All right, that they're I don't know necessarily if they said that they're in the truth, alright, but that they're saying that they're an Israelite. Oh, you got what's his name, Kendrick Lamar, as well, alright. So you got those guys as well as people that aren't famous, but they see this truth, they hear something about this truth, and they like the way it looks, alright, and they like the the brotherhood of it, okay, and because of that, that's the reason they want to be a part of this thing. Alright, and you brothers and sisters that are in the truth know that that's not the reason to be in this thing. This isn't a fashion statement. Alright, this isn't a fad or a trend, okay, to be an Israelite. Alright, it's your true calling that's placed upon you by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai himself. Alright, if you're not meant to get this, you're not meant to get this. Alright, and if you're meant to get this, you're meant to get this. These things are all predestinated. Alright, it was already known before time. Alright, if you were gonna wake up or not, okay, and get in this truth. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and read Romans 2 and 28, alright, down through 29. Starting with 28, it reads, "For he is not a Jew, which is one outwardly, neither is that circumcision, which is outward in the flesh, but he is a Jew, which is one inwardly, and the circumcision is that of the heart in the spirit, and not in the letter, whose praise is not of men, but of Yahweh." Okay? So what is this speaking of? Alright, well, let's grab the word. This KJV online, alright, never wants to let you copy anything. Unless you, actually, the only way you can copy it is if you actually click on it. So you usually have to do it. Come on. Alright, outwardly. Alright, on the surface, an outwardly normal life. Alright, that's an example. Alright, externally, on the outside, superficially, okay, seemingly, evidently. Now, what does superficially mean? Alright, as to the outward appearance only, on the surface. Alright, not thoroughly or deeply at or on the surface of the skin. Okay, let's see what else they give. Visibly. Alright, so as the outward appearance only on the surface, all right? So something only you can see, all right, visibly, all right, in a way that is visible to the eye, okay? So what this is saying is you're not a Jew that can be one, outwardly, as in being seen visibly, all right, being, oh, that brother must be in his truth. He's wearing fringes, all right? Even his dog's got fringes. That's not how this thing works, all right? It's not about what you have, what you wear, all right? Or if you look like an Israelite, all right? It's about that you are an Israelite and you need to act like an Israelite and be an Israelite, okay? Not just look like one and dress like one, all right? Anybody can stand out on the street, all right, in fringes, all right? It doesn't mean that you're in this truth, all right? Anybody can do that, all right? If you go out there, all right, in the street and you just put on some fringes, all right, and you just talk, about, Black Lives Matter, let's just say, all right, and how the white man's holding us down and how we need to form a community, that ain't being an Israelite, all right? You just a hood rat, in Israelites' clothes. That's all you are. All right. But when you go out there and wear those fringes, all right, you need to proclaim the word of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, all right, and spread His gospel. All right. You don't just wear those just to wear them. All right. You don't just act like an Israelite to act like an Israelite. If you're going to be an Israelite, you need to be an Israelite inwardly. All right. It isn't just a facade that you put on. All right. It isn't just an image you put on. You aren't an Israelite, all right, to your Israelite friends. When you get home, you're just a regular old, a hood rat, all right, doing, smoking weed and going off, all right, eating pork, all right, and not following any of the laws, all right. That's going off, all right, and that's going to get you killed if you're doing that type of stuff, all right. Or if you're wearing those shirts that say Yah, or you got Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai's name tattooed on you. All right, if you're wearing a 12-tribe shirt, all right, and then you're not following any of the laws that Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai laid up for you, all right, laid up for us, all right, Israel as a nation, all right, you're not following any of the laws, you're not doing any of the work, all right, like I said, you're still eating pork, still smoking weed, all right, still committing adultery, still doing all these things. You're not being a Jew. You're a Jew, all right, but you're not one inwardly, all right? You're not being one inwardly, all right? If you're a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American, inherently, all right, you are an Israelite, all right? But you're not doing what an Israelite should be doing, all right? You're doing the same stuff that got us into the predicament that we're in right now in the first place, all right? In Deuteronomy, all right? You're doing the same stuff that got those curses put on us, all right? So I'm gonna read this one more time. For he is not a Jew, which is one outwardly, okay, wearing all the fringes and the nice looking necklaces, all right, or wearing a 12-tribe shirt or any of this stuff, all right. For he is not a Jew, which is one outwardly. Neither is that circumcision, which is the outward in the flesh. All right. If same with that. If you you find out you're an Israelite and you got circumcised and you say, okay, that's one and done. All right, cool, I'm good. That's not how it works, all right? Now, that's something that, that you can get done, all right? It should be done at birth, but that's something that you can get done, all right? But at the end of the day, your salvation, that's not going to pertain into your salvation, all right? Some brothers that weren't circumcised at birth, went ahead and got it done to be more comfortable. Some don't, all right? But the circumcision alone, all right, which is really speaking of not a physical circumcision, all right, but a spiritual circumcision, all right, those things, those physical things, all right, speaking on that, all right, with lack of better words, physical things, all right, aren't going to get you saved, all right, physical things, all right, now spiritual things will, okay, sorry if I muddied that up, all right, but spiritual things are going to get you saved, not outward, fleshly, physical things. Okay, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is not going to come back and save you just because you got 5 garments, all right, and a couple necklaces that have Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai's name on them, all right, and a few stones, all right. If you're not doing anything, all right, and you're just just owning that stuff to own it, to put on a facade, all right, He's going to save His elect, all right, the people that are actually doing this work and actually following after the work. All right, and following after His footsteps and doing the work to the best of their abilities and keeping the commandment to the best of their abilities. All right, but But he is a Jew, which is one inwardly, all right, spiritually, on the inside, all right. We don't need to go out and proclaim to everyone that we're an Israelite, telling your boss that you're an Israelite, the mailman that you're an Israelite, all right, letting everybody know, all right, boasting and proud. It's just, that's not being circumspect, all right. Now, you are one, but not everybody needs to know, all right. Tell your boss that you're an Israelite and you hate the white man. See how fast see how long you'll keep your job, all right. See how long you'll keep your job when you do that kind of stuff, all right. It's all about, being circumspect, all right. But he is a Jew, which is one inwardly, all right. And the circumcision is that of the heart, okay, in the spirit, and not in the letter, whose praise is not of men, but of Yahweh, all right. And the circumcision is that of the heart, all right. Now the circumcision, you know what that is. I'm not going to go into it, all right. But if you just get that done, all right, without any spiritual meaning behind it, you know how many people in the United States, all right, have been circumcised, all right, a good chunk of the population, all right. So that isn't going to get them saved, all right. In the next verse in 29, it speaks of circumcision is that of the heart, all right. So why that physical thing is commanded, all right, of young children, all right. And if you want to get it done later on, you can, all right. But the circumcision is that of the heart, all right. So when you come into this truth, all right, in the spirit, all right, in the spirit is that of the heart, in the spirit, again, dealing with the spirit, all right, not physical fleshly things, all right. But he is a Jew, which is one inwardly, and the circumcision is that of the heart and the spirit, and not in the letter, whose praise is not of men, but of Yahweh, all right. And if you see these Israelites, all right, where they look and dress, all right, just like the brothers, all right. A lot of the time, those guys are still praising men, all right. They still have idols, all right. They're still worshiping idols, Just it's all off, It's all off. But that's a thing. That's a thing. It's cool and it's trendy to be an Israelite, all right. But they're not being an Israelite, all right. They're not doing any of the stuff that an Israelite would do, all right. What are the things that an Israelite would do? All right, this is John 14:15. It reads, "If ye love me, keep my commandments." All right. So if you're going to be an Israelite, all right, which I mean you already are, but if you're going to be one, all right, you got to keep the commandments. All right. Now, like I said, inherently, all Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, are Israelites. All right, but it doesn't mean they're being Israelites. All right, if you're going to be an Israelite, you must keep the commandments. All right, that's one of the first things you learn when you come into this truth. All right, you got to go drop the pork, drop the blunt. All right, drop that girl that you've been messing around that has a husband. All right, yeah, and repent. Okay, it's commanded. All right, as you see, it's in red. If you love me, keep my commandments. All right, and what else? Now it says another commandment, all right, is that if you're a man, all right, you got to teach, all right, you got to spread the word of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. All right, so this is John 21:14 through 17, starting with 14. This is now the third time that Yahushai showed himself to his disciples. After that, he was risen from the dead. So when they had dined, Yahushai said to Simon Peter, "Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than these?" He saith to him, "Yea, Lord, thou knowest I love thee." He said unto him, "Feed my lambs." He saith to him again the second time, "Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me?" He said unto him, "Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee." He said unto him, "Feed my sheep." He said unto he said unto him the third time, "Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me?" Peter was grieved because he said unto him the third time, "Lovest thou me?" And he said unto him, "Lord, thou knowest all things, that I knowest that I love thee." Yahushua said unto him, "Feed my sheep." Okay, and feeding my sheep is speaking of spreading the word of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. All right, spreading the word to so the elect can wake up. All right, so that's another thing you got to be doing. All right, it's not sound so fun to just have to just wear fringes now, is it? all right, because there's work that comes in when you do these things, all right, and when you wake up and become an Israelite, all right, and that's why so many these 2/3, all right, they when they see the brothers on the highways and byways, they were like, oh, look, you got some black men out here. What are y'all talking about? And then they hear what we're talking about, all right, and they hear about the commandments and what you have to do and what's coming, and they just blow it off. They're like, I ain't about that shit, and they just walk on by. They just walk on by, all right, because they don't want to have to do no work. That's why our people, all right, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are so infatuated with the Christian church, all right, because you don't have to do shit. You don't have to do nothing, all right? You just come, sit in a pew, listen to some dude talk about something he doesn't understand about, all right? Give him some money so he can buy a new Rolls Royce, and then you jet, all right? And then you get to go home and smoke your weed and eat your pork right after, all right? And that's what Jake loves. Jake doesn't love, things in this truth, all right? They love worldly things, all right? And that's why this truth appears to them to be so fascinating and something they want to be in, but when they hear what it's really about, they don't want to do any of it, all right? They want to look and walk and talk just like an Israelite, but they don't want to be an Israelite, all right? They don't want to follow these laws, all right? It's another one. Alright. 1 John 5:3, this one just came to me through the Spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. For this is the love of Yahweh, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. Alright? And so that's a great scripture. Alright? Tawada Yahweh Shem Yahushai for that. Because I didn't even have this one up here. For this is the love of Yahweh, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. Alright, so what does grievous mean? Let's see what that means. Bad, critical, dreadful, terrible, awful, alright. So when, you can't eat pork, you can't go, ugh, I can't eat pork. I can't eat pork. You can't be doing that, man. It's pork. The shit doesn't even taste that good. Alright? Alright, but everybody has their thing that's hard for them to drop when they get in this truth. Pork, for me, man, was easy. I didn't even really like the shit in the first place. Growing up, I had pork chops all the damn time. I hated the shit. Didn't want none of it. It's gross. Doesn't taste good. It's dry as hell. Alright? The only thing that kept me hanging on a little bit was chorizo. And, you can get beef chorizo. And you can get a beef or turkey, not beef, so lucky turkey bacon, all right? And turkey bacon's good, man. Just get turkey bacon, you'll be fine. If you're one of those bacon guys, I was never big on bacon before. I liked it on my burgers, but now if I wanted bacon on my burger, I'd just go ahead and get turkey bacon, all right? You can just pick it up at the store, cook it up, throw it on your burger, you're good to go, all right? You don't need pork, all right? It's gross. Every version of pork thing that you want, aside for like maybe a pork chop, you can find a turkey or beef version of it. You can get beef chorizo. I'm sure there's turkey version of it too, probably out there. I know there's a soy version of it. All right, if you don't even eat meat, all right. And turkey bacon. All right, they got turkey salami. All right, and turkey salami is good. Turkey salami is better than that pork salami, because the pork salami, back when I was in the world and used to eat that stuff, it gave me heartburn real bad. But the turkey salami, it doesn't do that. All right. But anyway, getting off topic. Back on the topic is, that these things, these commandments, all right, are shouldn't be grievous to you. All right. You shouldn't have to, that's what they are to these Jakes in the world. All right. They hear these commandments and they're grievous to them. They're like, ugh, I gotta drop all this stuff. It's, it's hard when you first come in. All right. Especially if you're a brother that smokes. All right. Like I was. All right. I smoked weed and cigarettes, all right, and weed was easy to put down. That was fine. I was actually quitting that a little bit before I got into the truth. But cigarettes, I was vaping and stuff like that. But that was hard to put down, all right, because I was trying to quit smoking, and then I had to quit vaping on top of that, all right, and then I had nothing, All right, and that was hard, and it took a little bit, but I eventually got past that through the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. He'll help you through these things. All right, these commandments shouldn't be grievous to you. All right, they shouldn't be troublesome. All right, you should just do them. All right, there's a reason that all these commandments are set up in the first place. All right, not eating pork. Pigs are one of the dirty ass animals that ever. All right, you know that whatever they eat, they excrete through their skin. So if they ate a big old pile of shit, you basically eating a big old pile of shit, because they excrete everything that they eat through their skin. All right, if they eat poison, you're eating poison. All right, no matter what they eat, if they happen to eat, something rotten, you're eating something rotten because they excrete that through their skin. Look it up. It's true. It's true. All right, because I guess their body doesn't have the like a way to filter all that stuff, so they filter it through their skin. All right, and they basically sweat it out. So when you're eating all that stuff, when you're eating it, you're eating all that stuff that they're excreting out, and who knows what they eat. They're dirty animals. All right. And then you got oyster. All right, oysters filter the ocean. All right, all the shit. All right, and the debris. All right, and you know all the stuff that Esau's doing with the ocean, with oils and chemicals and poisons being through there. So all that stuff's getting filtered right through those oysters, and then you're running out to buy them. All right, same with clams. All right, same with these dirty creatures. All right, catfish can be poisonous. All right, there's a reason. All right, that all these things have been set up for us. All right, and all these commandments have been set up. They're not just commandments for no reason. All right, there's a reason for them. All right, but Jake, too simple. All right, to figure out that these aren't just don't do them because don't do them. All right, there's a reason. All right, and even if it was don't do them, don't do them. And Yahweh Shem Yahushai commanded these things. All right, and whatever he says, you have to do. All right, and if you don't like it, tough. All right, it's either that or you get to burn in the nuclear fire. All right, and I don't want no part of that nuclear fire, so I'm going to keep the commandments. All right, and Lord willing, I get saved out of this thing, and I'm part of the hopeful elect. All right, same with you, brothers and sisters. All right, and this is perfect follow-up. John 8:12. Then spake Yahushua again to them, saying, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. All right, so when you were out in those world, man, well, I know when I was out in this world, a lot of these brothers, when they were out in the world, all right, we were into some dark stuff. All right, always getting in trouble. All right, just in a dark state, and you don't realize how dark of a state you were in until you come into this truth. All right, you might have thought you were doing just fine. All right, but when you come in this truth, all right, you'll realize, man, you're walking a dark path. All right, and you're basically walking after death. When we are coming to this truth, all right, we follow after the ways of life. All right, we're coming into life. All right, not death. All right, you got those that say that this is some sort of death cult, and it's not any sort of that. All right, it's not a death cult. All right, this is about life. All right, this is about life. All right, and they just don't understand it. All right, so you don't want to be out there walking in darkness. All right, you want to come in with the light. All right, and get this life. All right, and not follow after death. All right, and if you're following after Esau, Edom, all right, that's the way of death. All right, that's going to lead you to death. All right. Now this is Matthew 7:21 through 7:23, starting at 21. Not every one that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name, and in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful works? And then I will profess unto them, I never knew ye. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. All right, iniquity is sin upon sin. All right, and these are talking these false prophets. All right, and ones that really aren't in this. All right, because the Most High doesn't know them. All right, He knows who His people are. He knows who the elect are. All right, but you're not going to be able to pull a fast one on them. All right, that's not how it works. All right, so you gotta come into this thing. All right, and you gotta do this work. All right. And if you're a man and you're out there teaching, all right, you got to make sure you're prophesying the right things, all right, and not going off and teaching some type of false doctrine, all right. There's a lot of these false prophet camps out there, all right, and there's only one camp that has the whole truth, and that's, GMS, Great Millstone. All right? So you don't want to be following after these people, all right, that are going to lead you into the darkness and lead you to death, all right? And those same people, they have the blood, they have your blood on their hands, all right, if that ends up happening to you, all right? So what you want to do is, keep these commandments, all right, follow after the ways of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, all right, that you won't be led astray if you just do those things, all right? So this isn't, like I said, this isn't a thing where it's just an image, all right, or how you look, all right. This is a spiritual thing, and how you are inwardly, all right, and following after the ways of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, and doing what He commanded you to do, all right. So with that, I'm gonna close out. Lord willing, it was an edifying lesson. I'll give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai B'Shem Kakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth and rule well. Shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Until the next one, Lord willing. Shalom.